everyone, this is Omar Steven Diaz. I am the team lead for PerfectGift, and this is our Summer 2024 Capstone 2 Senior Project. Now, what is PerfectGift? PerfectGift is a web app using AI technology and the Amazon Marketplace to solve the issue that we're currently having. What is that issue? Well, sometimes it's really difficult to find the perfect gift and can often be time-consuming, stressful, and lead to impersonal choices that you may regret in the future. Now, the way we solve this issue is we provide users a detailed questionnaire about the recipient's preferences and make sure that they fill out all the information regarding their interests, their personality traits, and provide them with a personalized list of recommendations that the user can then favorite and look back upon and purchase that gift later on for that person. The reason why our website is special and different from others is that we use the OpenAI API to generate prompts that the user then responds to, which we then obtain that information, analyze it, and provide the user the gifts and gift categories that they can purchase from. The benefit of this is that they can discover thoughtful and unique presents for any type of occasion, whether it be holidays, Valentine's Day, birthdays, so on and so forth, and make sure that every gift is special and appreciated. Now, for project management, we followed Scrum and 2-week sprints. At the beginning of each sprint, we had a sprint planning to make sure that all our user stories matched and everyone did the correct work that they were assigned. We then proceeded with daily scrums, and in the second week, we completed sprint backlogs to make sure that everyone was on task and completing things as necessary. At the end of each sprint, we completed our sprint reviews and sprint retros to make sure that we look back upon what we did, how we can improve, and move on and do better in our future sprints. Now, in terms of specific sprint planning, for sprint 1, we focused on foundational planning and setup, making wireframes, designing user flow diagrams, and establishing our GitHub to make sure that everyone was on the same page. For sprint 2, we developed essential pages and their backend logic, such as the collecting info and login signup pages, as well as creating the first revision of logic for generating personalized gift recommendations. For sprint 3, we made sure that we had seamless connections between our front-end pages, developed a home page and its essential components, and then continued improving the back-end logic for the personalized gift ideas, as well as saving those gift ideas in a wishlist feature for the users to look at later. By sprint 4, we focused on enhancing AI integration and user experience, improving our prompt generation, adding additional user input for related holidays, improving said AI algorithms to make sure that the gift ideas provided from the user match the recipient preferences, and validating said information based on further questions provided by the AI. Finally, for sprint 5, we completed our front-end and back-end integration and documentation, making sure that there was a seamless data flow between the two and fixing any bugs related to data fetching and updating. We completed the user profile management page for updating personal information, as well as implementing a feedback and rating system so that users could rate the gift suggestions and helping us refine our future recommendations. For our user stories, as you can see here and what I've detailed before, we focused on wireframing, completing logic, making sure that we improved what we were currently doing, and as our most significant user story, it would be implementing the first bit of gift recommendation logic, where we made sure to develop the logic to analyze user input and generalize said gifts using a specific algorithm. This is where we first introduced the OpenAI API and the Amazon Marketplace API to make sure that we were outputting the right information from Amazon and giving the users exactly what they needed in terms of gifts. Now, in terms of how the users did that, you can see here our sequence diagram for our multi-step form, where the user would fill out their gift recipient information, and then that would be sent to OpenAI to generate questions. The user would then fill out those questions, which would then sent to OpenAI again. Both times, they would be saving the answers to the database. Then the OpenAI would generate gift suggestions, sending them to the front end and displaying them to the user. The user would then select a gift item and see it from the Amazon Marketplace API and be displayed for them, and they can then view it via actual Amazon.com or add it to their favorites to look at later. In terms of our architecture, for patterns, we used MVC, microservices, a RESTful API, and single-page application, such as React.js, to ensure that there's a seamless user experience without having the need to do full-page reloads. In terms of our system decomposition, our front end was composed of React.js, our back end was Node.js with Express.js, our database was made from MongoDB, our AI integration was using the OpenAI API, and then our external API integration was with the Amazon Marketplace API. As you can see in our architecture design, we've got our front end connected to our OpenAI API, our back end connected to the Amazon API, and then the Mongo database connected to the back end to make sure that everything was being saved and contained in a secure place. Now, in terms of the actual deployment, as I've detailed before in the sequence diagram, we would have users log in through the main page and click on the Get Started or Begin button and provide the information given, whether it be age, gender, occasion, and relation. This would then send the info to the AI API, which would load the information and then spit out said information, give it to the user in a nice looking manner, and then provide the user with those gift suggestions and links, and then save them to a user account. Now, going into security and privacy, in terms of user authentication for their accounts, we use Firebase authentication, so none of the data is stored in plain text. It's hashed using standard hashing algorithms and then saved in the MongoDB database. We performed regular security audits and code reviews and made sure that the information can only be modified, such as user email and password, by the same user that is currently logged in. Additionally, gift suggestions were also only seen by the users who had favorited them on their accounts. In terms of our minimal class design, you can look at figure 6 where you see our files tree showcasing our class structure, which in terms of design patterns had the MVC pattern, singleton, factory, observer, and strategy, in which we were implementing different pieces of code, modules if you were, that would then be called upon when needed to actually make the entire web app function correctly. In terms of our most important main algorithm, as you can see in figure 7, we provide the gift information to OpenAPI and generate gift suggestion categories, right? So we have our user prompt, which suggests 5 gift items and specifies them into categories based on the information that the user provides, such as gender, age, relation, occasion, interests, and budget. This will then be obtained and passed through to ChatGPT, which will then provide the information back to the user.